Donald Dumpster, the demonic Don, is now in Jerusalem. He has made the pronouncement that he is a god, and there is war raging all over Israel, which means that his promise of protecting Israel, making sure Israel was secure if Israel accepted the two-state solution and accommodated an Islamic state carved out of its midst, that promise was worthless, as is every promise that Donald makes. And so he went from promising peace to immediately being at war. Now, this is something that the Donald would have learned from Muhammad and from all of the Muslims who now own him and treat him like he's their puppet. Well, they bought him for $16.5 billion that we know of in bribes, and I'm sure there was a lot more than that. So they have quite a puppet. They bought the president of the United States for $16.5 billion, but they got a country and its military along with it. I'm not sure it was a very good deal because the country is bankrupt and has a negative value of about 40 trillion, but nonetheless, they thought it was a good deal. So they're teaching the Trumpster that there's this thing called the Treaty of Houthis, where when he arrived and was promising peace, the Treaty of Houthis says that Muhammad promises that he will not terrorize, he will not make war on, he will not kidnap, rape, abduct, or anything else, murder anyone for 10 years. And the following year, he came back against his hometown again. Kaabaville is what we'll call it. It was actually Petra. And promptly not only conquered the place, but humiliated the people and killed those who had stood against him. It's the Treaty of Houthis. And so he just flat out reneged on the treaty, but he had Allah's permission to do so because the opening lines of the 9th Surah says any agreement between a Muslim and a non-Muslim is not binding on the Muslim. And so the treaty that the Donald will have made with Israel to protect Israel, and all viewers said, yay, he solved our problems. He's going to win the Nobel Prize. He normalized relationships with Saudi Arabia. He ended the war. He got the last of the hostages back. Isn't he the Messiah? He's the new Cyrus. We'll just call him God since we don't know God anyway. We'll just substitute him. Isn't that swell? And lo and behold, he turned out to betray them, and immediately thereafter there was war. That's what this says.